Hello everybody and welcome back again. This video is about the ATP Tour Finals Day 2, and today we had two matches in Andre Agassi's group, and it was two superb matches, two great performances by Alexander Zverev, who beat Nadal, and Stefanos Tsitsipas, who beat Daniil Medvedev for the first time. So today it was the first time for everything. Stefanos made his first appearance here in the ATP Finals. He won his first match here in the ATP Finals. He beat Medvedev for the first time in his career and trails now 1-5 in the head-to-head section. The same goes with Alexander Zverev. He have met Nadal 5 times earlier in his career and lost all of the meetings, and this was the first time they met this year, and he won. He actually stunned and did a superb performance today, because the Sasha we saw today, maybe I have never seen him play like this before, because he served heavy and he played with such confidence. From his ground strokes, his forehand, his backhand, he could find anything that he did in this match turned to gold almost. And one important thing, he returned Nadal's serve superb, especially with his forehand, because Nadal, we all know he's a good server, but he's not like Roger Federer. He's not a heavy server. He gets his ball into play, and he can always take advantage of when the ball is in play. But that was not the case today. Zverev, I think he broke him 3 or 4 times in this match. I stopped counting. But when Sasha plays like this with confidence, and the ATP Finals in London is a very quick surface, but it was no problem for Sasha. He was like a rabbit in his leg. He could, without any doubt, run after every ball that Nadal put in the corners, that when he tried to change direction to get Sasha off balance, he was there to pick those balls up. And he played with such good strength and length in his balls, and he was not afraid this time, because when I've seen Sasha play against Nadal, he disappears from the matches, but today he was there from start to the end, and he kept his nerves in check. And we all know Sasha can lose his coolness when you at least expect it. So this was a good performance by him, all in all. And his serve was magnificent today. He won 88% of his first serves in and 43 of his second serves in. And he didn't receive any break points from Nadal. When have you seen a match with Nadal when he can't find a way to break his opponent, or at least get a break point? In this match, that never happened. And Sasha's made 20 winners and 19 unforced errors. Nadal made 12 winners only. I think he only made 1 or 2 from his forehand, and that's pretty bad. And he also made 19 unforced errors. So what can we say about Nadal's performance? Was he injured? Was he off focus? No, he played. He did his best. It was his 7th loss this year. He haven't actually lost since the semi-final in Wimbledon against Roger Federer. And today we saw Nadal, he didn't have the energy in his legs. It was lack of match training, and he wasn't. He's always fit, but he wasn't. When you train a lot, you get you get the match tempo, you get the energy. Nadal haven't played for a while, so he was a little bit rusty, and he couldn't find the depth and the length in his ground strokes, and it took too much time on him to execute his ground strokes. He barely, um, long story short, he wasn't quick enough with his movement in this match. He used too much topspin in his ball, and he struggled in his service game because he had to create something extra in his serve game. He had to play much more when the ball was on play, and he used too much energy to find his own rhythm and his own game, and that's a Nadal we barely see. He's the consistent king. He's king of consistency. He barely does a bad match. He didn't do a terrible match. Sasha was just much better. He didn't give Rafa any time. And what can we say more? He did, like I said, the ATP Naito indoor tournament is a very fast surfaces with a high ball bounce. It should suit guys like Nadal better because we saw yesterday Roger struggled with that. He couldn't find his feet either. It's different if you compare it to the ATP Swiss indoors in Basel where he won. It's a super fast surface, but the ball doesn't bounce that high that it did in London, and that's why I think when Roger can't find his timing, even though it's fast surfaces, he make those unforced errors number, and that's what he did. So all in all, Sasha should be very proud of himself. I had him as the one of the candidate in the semifinal in my preview, and that was a bold guess, but maybe I'm wrong. But there's still two matches left for everybody, and I think Rafael Nadal, he's too good of a player. He will bounce back. He will take this defeat. He tried to change his game in the second set, but he couldn't come through Zverev. Actually, Zverev was too solid in this match. He was too good. We all know that Zverev, he's a super talented guy. He had have a rough year, but now to the end of the season, it's starting to look much brighter. Still, we are in the group stages, but it looks good. He can finish this year in style maybe, and maybe collect a trophy. All right, about the other match in this group, it was between Stefanos Tsitsipas and Daniil Medvedev. Stefanos played great tennis today. He's a talent that has blossomed this year. He went to semi-final in Australian Open, then he disappeared after the clay court season, and he's starting to get his mojo back in Shanghai, where he reached deep, when he eventually lost to Daniil Medvedev. And after that, he is starting to getting warm now. He was a surprise actually today. I didn't expect him to win, but he played matured and he plays solid tennis. He plays tennis like Roger Federer. First strike tennis with good forehand, with a superb backhand. He hits many winners with both his backhand and forehands. That's the difference, I think, between him and Roger. When Roger won is in his age, his backhand was much worse than Tsitsipas or backhand now. But Roger has always been a better server, and the young Greek can always improve and get better. He's actually only 21 years old, so he has time on his side actually. But it's a tough competition. It's not hard. It's very hard to win Grand Slams, as we all know. And he played high quality tennis, mixing up the shots and had winners. and only lost 5 points in his first serve, and that's good. Totally in the match, he won 4 more points than Medvedev, but he was more clutch on the big moments. He was down in the first tie break where Daniel Medvedev got a mini break, but he managed to turn the table around and showed some good confidence, good mindset, and eventually broke him in the second set to win 6-4. So that was a good result from him. And yeah, what can we say about Medvedev? The hottest player on earth in the when the American Spring started, 6 consecutive final. He lost early in Paris. Has he started to get a little bit cooler? He played good today, though. Not, I don't want to take anything from his performance. It was a solid performance with high, low, and for zeros numbers, but it wasn't so much that separated these two guys in this match. Actually, to be honest, he only won 4 points more than Medvedev, but like I said, he was more clutch on the important moments in the match, and that's why he won. And Medvedev, who is this super solid ball machine from the baseline, he didn't lose many rallies, but there was no depth, there was not so much power that we have used to see before when he has played during the American and Asian swing. There was something missing there, and he has a chance to repair this damage maybe if he can beat Nadal, if he can beat Zverev. Those are his obstacles, but that's a very tough task. Medvedev served okay. He won 72% of his first serve in and 41 of the second serve. And Stefanos had also a huge number in his first serve. He won 89% of his first serves in. And when you do that, you barely get broken because it's a high number. It was higher number than Zverev's performance today. He had 88% first serve in when he won the point in his first serves in. All right, Nadal. I still can't believe the way he lost. This surface is super fast, as we saw today. And Nadal needs to find his rhythm, his mojo. He will have some tactical changes. Nadal is not a guy that are afraid of changing his game during the match. We saw that in the second set. He tried to go approach. He took a step forward into the court. But Zverev was just too good. And he challenged the umpire a couple of times where he got right with some serves that they said were out and some winners. He had that luck on his side also in this match. And it's good to see Zverev finally do a superb performance, but can he do the same thing the next match? That's the difference between the big three and the rest. They can perform week after week. This young next gen, the next gen with Dominic Thiem or some couple other dudes, you all know them. Like Zverev, he's starting to get to be an X-gen now. We have players like Raonic, Berdych, Kay, to name it. That's the difference. They can't perform week after week after week like Roger, Rafa, and Novak. That's the difference between them. But all in all, 2 great matches today. Looking forward to the second round. This was just the first round ending in Andre Agassi's group. The winners here was Stefanos Tsitsipas and Alexander Zverev. And yesterday we saw Novak demolish. He just tear Berrettini apart. And Dominic Thiem did a superb performance against Roger Federer, who he did an okay match, but his unforced error level and return game was too bad, and that was the difference. All right, Thanks for watching. Take care and bye bye.